morning, everyone. My name is Dipesh Deshmukh, and on behalf of IBG, I welcome all of you for this amazing webinar. So IBG is hosting a webinar series, and we are trying to get as many good speakers as possible. And so a little bit about IBG. IBG is India Business Group. It's a chamber of commerce, and we help our members to get business, to get connects. IBG is connected with a lot of companies, a lot of countries, a lot of councils, consulates and stuff like that. So our members get a lot of benefit because of IBG. It's founded by none other than Mr. Vikash Mittar Sen. He's the founder president of IBG. Vikash, can you just say hi to everyone?
Hi, if I'm on mute, was it?
No, I have unmuted.
Okay, hi all, everybody, welcome. Sorry, we had to limit the numbers, but whoever is there, very happy to see you. Go on.
Yeah. And also we have our CEO of IBG, Ms. Priya Pansare. Priya, can you please say hi to everyone?
Hi, good morning, everyone. And special morning to Mr. Kapoor. We are looking forward to an engaging conversation today.
Thank you, Priya. Thank you. And we also have a friend of Dr. Kapoor. I mean, a lot of friends are there, but I would like Dr. Vitthal Kamath to say hi to everyone. We are very fortunate to have you, sir. You'll have to unmute yourself.
Oh, unmute, correct?
Yeah.
Good morning. Hi, everyone. Welcome. It's a pleasure to be with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. So with those few introductions, I would like to first tell only 3 rules. Why few? 1, everyone will be on mute. 2nd, I request everyone to keep your videos in off mode. Only the speakers should keep the videos on. And 3rd, whatever questions you all have for Dr. Jagdeep Kapoor, please type them in the chat box. So at the end, we will have a Q&A session, and I will ask those questions to Mr. Kapoor. So our 2 important people of IBG are Girish and Siddhi. So they are the ones who help our members, help everyone to connect and stuff like that. So they will be putting some messages in the chat box, and kindly people who are non-members of IBG, respond to those and give your email address and phone number, so we will be able to inform you about the future webinars and we'll be able to stay in touch. So I really request everyone, whoever is not member of IBG, to type your email address, name and mobile number, so IBG can stay in touch with all of you. All right. So with that, I would like to introduce the brand guru, Jagdeep Kapoor. And I'm very fortunate. So I had met him 15 years ago. I had just returned from US at that time. And his was the first session that I attended about branding and brand building. And it opened my eyes. I still remember the example that he had given 15 years ago. So imagine such a powerful speaker. And I'm today fortunate to host him. So thank you so much, Vikash, to give me this opportunity. Little bit about our speaker, Jagdeep Kapoor. He's a leading brand strategic marketing consultant with an impressive list of clients. He has successfully completed his 24 years in this trade profession business, and he has entered his 25th year. He is a visiting faculty of Jamnalal Bajaj, and he's also an alumnus. So he studied from Jamnalal Bajaj, and he's also visiting faculty of SP Jain Institute. I mean, the moment I read this, I was thinking, imagine Philip Kotler himself teaching you marketing. So Jagdeep Kapoor teaching branding to these kids, they are absolutely fortunate. Every year on Saraswati Puja, Mr. Kapoor gives free consultancy to students, institutions, startups, and corporates. So that's something really interesting and unique. He has published over 1,800 articles in magazines, newspapers. I have a list, and I'm not going to read that list, but some interesting names are Times of India, Business India, Hindu, Business World, and so on. Mr. Kapoor, his book Brand Switch has been launched in US, and also it has been translated in Spanish edition. So that tells a lot about his reach. He has contributed to several brands in building large numbers. We already have seen Mr. Vitthal Kamath here. So ideally, I thought I'll read only some important or some known brands. And then I thought, okay, I'll quickly go through some of them. So some of the brands that he has been consulting for branding, his career ad conditioners. I'm going to be very quick, okay? Otis, Navneet Publication, Mother's Dairy, Frooti, Synthol, Nirma, Fevicol, Nutrella, Anchor, Shuffle, Whisk, Crafts, FedEx Blue Dart, Bailey's, Water, Natural Ice Creams, Wellness Forever, Zycom, Metro, Jain Irrigation, or I'm just telling you so you guys will get some idea of the magnitude of this person. Wellspin, Aptech Computers, Arena Multimedia, Listerine, Hiranandani, Garware, Motilal Oswal, Tetra Pak, Fevicryl, Kotak Mahindra Financial Services, Aditya Birla Group, Tata Motors, Voltas, Oberoi Realty, Orchid, the hotel, Hiranandani Group, Tally, the accounting software, Godrej Consumer Products, Himalayan Natural Mineral Water. These are a few that I thought I should just share with you guys. So that gives us an idea of what kind of person we are going to listen to. And he has so many accolades. I'm not going to read any of them because there is a huge, it's like 2-page list of accolades. The only thing that saddened me when I read that list was 3 organizations gave him Lifetime Achievement Award. And I'm thinking, this guy is just getting started. Such a young person, how can somebody give him a Lifetime Achievement Award? So I would like to introduce people to Jagdeep Kapoor. Jagdeep, can you please unmute yourself?
Here we are.
There you go. So,
hello.
Guys,
Hello,
I request
Dipesh.
everyone to shut your videos off, please. Request. Thank you. Jagdeep, over to you. Just say hi to people and then we'll start some conversation.
Hi to all of you, and hi to Dipesh and Prakash and Vittalji and the entire IPG group. And apologies, the last count in the morning I saw were about 1,200 people had registered, but I believe the accommodation can only be done of 100 people. So I'm going to request Dipesh that after it's done, please send me the recording so I can send it to all the people who couldn't.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right? Okay. So great to meet all of you this morning. And it's a good morning, like any other morning. Nothing to get depressed, nothing to get worried, because today's topic is brand growth in difficult times. So you can have brand growth in normal times. You can have brand growth in difficult times. The key thing is you must make your brand grow. So my opening remarks are that जब सब कुछ बंद हो जाता है ना, लॉकडाउन सब कुछ बंद, एक चीज खुला होना चाहिए, वो है आपका दिमाग. दिमाग खुला रखो. अगर दिमाग खुला है तो मार्केट खुला है, मार्केट खुला है तो किस्मत खुला है. You have to keep an open mind and you have to be able to look at the challenges, at the difficult times, and be able to understand that actually there are opportunities. I've heard of people looking at opportunities, and you have a stock out of sanitizers nowadays. Okay. And at least to the last count, 87 new companies have plunged into launching sanitizers of all shapes, sizes, and they are all selling, right? I think over 100 companies have started launching masks who had never thought about it. But there are some opportunities which have not been looked at. For example, everyone is going to wear a mask, but no one has launched a mask wash. You have a fabric wash, you have a hand wash, you have a face wash, okay? But there are opportunities still existing if you apply your mind. I want a Sherlock Holmes tie, and Sherlock Holmes was known for discovering, detecting various things. So you have to become a Sherlock Holmes in these difficult times and look for needs, look for opportunities, look for challenges, and convert them into business opportunities. The big thing here is that you must understand no Rona during Corona. Stop crying and start trying. The opportunities are huge. There will be people who will not do anything, but there will be a lot of people who will look out for opportunities and do things they have never done before. Some people call it the new normal. I call it the absolute new brand world. You know, today, by research, we have found out that an average Indian uses 44 brands daily. We see we are a poor country. So I'll explain to you and why brand is so important. When you get up in the morning, most probably the bed sheet on which you were or the bed on which you were is branded. Then you go to the bathroom, everything is branded. Right from the toothpaste, the toothbrush, the shampoo, the commode, the tiles, everything is branded. The towels, you come back, everything that you've worn on top and below is branded. You have your breakfast, the juice, the bread, the butter, everything is branded. Then you go to work. And whether you come and work, stay at home and work at home, or you actually physically go out, all the stationery, all the laptops, everything is branded. Then you come back home in the evening and you watch branded content on television. Then you go to sleep. You get branded dreams. This is a brand new world. And in these difficult times, you have to create your own brand new world and look at the opportunities. So I would say that look at it with optimism. There are new needs which have come up, and these new needs have to be catered to, and sometimes needs have to be created. I leave you with one last thing in these opening remarks. I remember many years ago having dealt with how water could be marketed, and mineral water, and launched Bailey. And then later on, Tata's came in when I started the consultancy and launched Himalayan mineral water, natural mineral water. So हम लोग हिल स्टेशन क्यों जाते हैं? We go to a hill station हवा पानी बदलने के लिए. पानी तो बदल दिया, अभी हवा बदलने का opportunity है. With so much pollution and so much worry which was there, well, you can even sell branded packaged air, and you can have various varieties. Opportunities all around us. You need to be able to discover, like Sherlock Holmes, and be able to cater them or create. Those are my opening remarks. And look at this brand new world, or create a brand new world in these difficult times.
All right, awesome. So those were some great remarks, interesting remarks. And what you said, absolutely true. A lot of people are looking at and should look at new opportunities. In fact, when you were talking about masks and sanitizers, I was thinking, imagine a nice plain mask with a brand of Coca-Cola on it. Why not advertise on the
Why not? The most fertile thing we have is our mind, and we must use it.
Absolutely.
Not for crying, but for trying.
Absolutely. And the example of Himalayan water that you had given 15 years ago is still etched in my brain. Of how you told Tata's to change the pricing from 10 rupees to 100 rupees a bottle, and it finally became a very big brand. So, all right. So my first question to you is, what is branding in your words, simply put?
Another word for brand is trust. Very simple, right? The whole process of branding is consumer को आप पे विश्वास होना चाहिए और आपको अपने आप पे आत्मविश्वास होना चाहिए. It's a game between विश्वास and आत्मविश्वास. And therefore, another word for brand is trust. But we must understand that branding is not only the face or the hair. So it's not the look, and it's not the feel, and it's not just how nice you have as an appearance, but it is the complete body in terms of making sure that brand strategy is the main thing. Branding is a subset of it. So you have to look after the face and hair, but you also have to look after the kidneys, the liver, the heart, everything, inside, outside. So when we look at brand strategy, it cannot be only your label design or your brand identity or logo, right? It has to be everything, right? From sales, distribution, pricing, customer service, positioning, segmentation, the complete body. And if that is done appropriately, then brand strategy works. But it begins with one thing. It begins with the need of the customer, the need of the consumer. You either identify a need or you create a need. And then you offer a brand which helps build a business, satisfies the consumer's need, and you are in a position to make profit. If the consumer benefits, you profit. So brand strategy is the complete universe in which brand is equal to trust.
Well said. That's something very profound. So my next question to you is, in brand marketing, should one act or react during difficult times? Because today's times are not normal.
Very interesting question, Dipesh. In my opinion, you need to be acting. I'm not saying the acting in Bollywood, but you need to act. You don't need to sit down and because of inertia or because of depression or because of worries, you need to act. That means thoughtful action. Even the Bhagavad Gita says that, right? Is better than just not doing anything. Don't worry about the results. Results will come. You have the wrong strategy, you will get the wrong results. You have the right strategy, you get the right results. But not doing anything doesn't make sense. So I would recommend that you need to act. And therefore it's called, you have to be proactive. You don't have to react. That is being reactive. So supposing even if competition does something, you can respond to that. You don't have to react to it. You have to chart your own course. And that's what strategy is all about. So in my opinion, yes, you need to act. Don't just think, don't just believe, go out and do it. There is a good chance that you will have to correct course. There is a good chance you will succeed. There is also a good chance you will fail. But it's better than not doing anything. But it should be done through strategy. So definitely act is better than react.
Interesting perspective. So based on what you just said, something that just struck my mind. So in difficult times, difficult times are seen as threats or challenges by some people. And some people see them as opportunities and potential. What is your perspective on this?
See, in life, irrespective of what times they are, old times or new times, difficult times or normal times or great times, basically all of them are avsars. They are opportunities, brand opportunities. As long as there is a need, there is a market. If you think there is a market, there is a market. So where is the market? The market is in the mind. And if you think and visualize, you create a market or you cater to a market. I have a 9-step process, which I'm going to take a minute and explain to you to answer your question. You begin with what is called 9 brand shastras. It's a registered module of mine, written a book on that also. You begin with the need shastra, where you first try to create and develop a category. Like this mineral water discussion, a category was created. Now these masks, a category is being created. I remember sanitizers were used only when you visited someone in the hospital. I remember using, before this time, sanitizers only thrice in my life. Once someone was in the ICU, I went to visit. So in the hospital, I had to use it. Once kids were born, so I had to go and visit those infants, and one more time in some medical facility. But today, that's part of life. So what has happened? There's a whole new aspect of sanitation, fumigation, achai, sachai, which has come out. So the first thing is need, create a category, need shastra. Then is seed shastra. You need to be able to have an idea. Like I was saying, everyone has masks, but no one has mask wash, a specialized mask wash. People are going to reuse the mask. They're using normal soap, normal detergent. There's a gap, and that gap can be filled in with antibacterial part of it. The important thing is that, and I'll give you an analogy of old Bollywood, and of course, Deepesh, you're very young, but during the times that we were there, so if Raj Kapoor had 3 films as hero, Shami Kapoor had 3 films as hero, Dilip Kumar had 3 films as hero, Dharmendra had 3 films as hero, and Rajendra Kumar had 3 films as hero. So there were 15 films between 3 heroes, between 5 heroes, 15 films. But in each of them, there was a common villain, Pran. So while they got 3 each, he got 15. So similarly, there are thousands of people who are making masks, but no one is making a mask wash. So you could possibly be catering to all of them. So that's the seed shastra and the positioning. The third one is the heat shastra. You need to communicate. Mera brand mantra, kam kharche mein zyada charcha ho sakta hai, as long as you do it intelligently. The fourth is deed shastra. Trials. If you're not available, if you're not distributed, then you can't do it. I think one of the best brands during these times, which has done a wonderful job, is Amul. Unfortunately, Amul and Parle both are not listed companies. I would have invested in them. Both are private limited companies. And they have done very, very well. And both in terms of communication as well as in distribution. So deed shastra, you need to be available. The next one is feed shastra. The trials have taken place. If your product is good, people will repeat it. And then comes speed shastra, your sales growth. You will see people who were never in the business, who have never able to get into the market during these times, last 60 days, have become huge businesses and with great speed. Yes, we have green zones, we have orange zones, we have red zones, but we need to be able to look at. Out of 732 districts in India, 319 are green zones. So those are available. Then comes Creed Shastra, which is credibility. Like I said, trust. Don't break the trust. There is Breed Shastra, market share. increase your market share. And finally, there is exceed Shastra, which is you exceed the expectations of customers, they will exceed your expectations of profit. So from need Shastra to exceed Shastra, if you follow mine, from need to exceed, you will succeed.
Amazing. You know, when I was hearing you talk, what I was thinking is at the end of this session, we should charge people 1-2 lakh because बाद में MBA करने का जरूरत नहीं है ना.
That's kind of you. That's kind of you. But आपको याद है ना कि सरस्वती पूजा के दिन मैं फ्री कंसल्टेंसी देता हूँ.
तो
वैसे ही ये सरस्वती जी की देन है. इस पे चार्ज नहीं होता. हाँ, कंसल्टेंसी लेने आएंगे तो चार्ज होगा.
Absolutely. Great. No, it was really nice to get the different shastras. It's a great concept. Yeah. So going forward, building brands is a process, right? It's not magic. But in difficult times, does it get disturbed?
In my opinion, it doesn't get disturbed if you are resolute, if you have resilience, and if you can do one main strategy, which I would say, and that is adapt. I remember many years ago, in fact, Vithalji is here. Vithalji had done a little do in Orchid Hotel. About 100 of us were invited, just like 100 here. And we had the US ambassador, Madam Nancy, who was there. And so while Vithalji had hosted it at Orchid, and a lot of MDs and CEOs were there. And Vithalji introduced me to the US ambassador, Madam Nancy. And she asked me a question. She said, a lot of companies in India are doing very well. The Koreans are doing very well. The Japanese are doing very well. And this was, I think, about 15, 20 years ago. Why is it the American companies are not doing as well as maybe 2 or 3 other countries? So I had said that one of the biggest things, whenever any disturbance takes place, like in these difficult times, you need to do is you need to adapt to adopt. If you adapt, then consumers will adopt. But if you're rigid and you want to stick to just the way you've been doing things for the last so many years, then it's not going to work. When times have changed, you need to change because the consumer has changed. Consumer has new expectations. So therefore, in my opinion, you need to adapt to adopt. And she said, that's a good one. And then that was just 2 minutes meeting. So I would answer your question to say that there will be many challenges. There will be many disturbances. But don't get worried about disturbed times as long as you don't have a disturbed mind. Unmute. You'll have to unmute, Dipesh.
Sorry.
Yeah, so disturbance are external in the market. Don't let it come in you having a disturbed mind. I see some people wearing a t-shirt. Don't touch me. I am disturbed. Now that's a problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should not.
Disturbances will be there in the market. As
right.
long as your mind is not disturbed, everything is fine.
Correct. So while these disturbances are happening, the bad times are there, the difficult times, I should say, are there. Do you think people should stop advertising and promotion, or they should continue doing what they were doing? Because a lot of people feel there are, things are shut, nobody's buying. Why should I advertise?
I'll ask you a question, Dipesh. When you fall ill, okay, and you fall very ill, then you're bedridden. Then you fall very, very ill. Then maybe you're in the hospital or even the ICU, right? Do you stop breathing?
No.
So similarly, marketing is like breathing.
Correct.
You have to continue it. If you stop breathing, stop advertising, stop promoting, stop doing these efforts, then your brand is dead. So marketing is like breathing. Continue it, irrespective of what happens. You think when turbulence happens, the pilot of a plane puts a full stop and stops the engine and says, turbulence jane do, phir he goes through it. So you cannot stop. It's like breathing. And my answer, it's a good question you asked. There are a lot of people who say, chalo, pehle advertising cut kar do, promotion cut kar do. Arey, Baba, there are only 2 types of company. One who reduce cost and one who increase revenue. You should focus on increasing revenue. Adapt, adopt, find out new needs, cater to new needs. So it's very, very important that you must be in a position that basically it's important. Like, for example, advertising and promotion is one part, right? So you must continue. There is the other part. In fact, our consultancy, we help in recruiting sales force, okay? Effectively training them, what do you do? Then doing positioning and communication, doing the aspect of pricing. All of them has to be integrated. So don't stop marketing. It's like breathing. You must continue. If you stop breathing, you're dead. And if you stop the marketing part, the brand is dead. So my answer to you is continue. Nirantar.
Amazing. I think the example that you gave, after that, there's no argument only, right? Okay, good. So let's say people continue marketing, advertising. There's one more thought that comes to people's mind, that should I give discounts? Should I drop prices so that in such times when people are not buying, they will start buying more? What are your thoughts for this?
Utter nonsense. Okay. Tell me something. Why are you giving discounts? Why are you dropping prices? Have you dropped your quality? Have you dropped your size and quantity? You have not. So why? मैंने क्या बोला? This entire game of marketing and brand building is about विश्वास and आत्मविश्वास. Consumer को आपके ऊपर फिर भी विश्वास है. They want to give you the full price. They don't want discount. They want good quality. They want continuity. They don't want schemes. They don't want reduction in prices. Right? But विश्वास है. मगर आपका आत्मविश्वास टूट गया. Your self-confidence got shaken. So without any necessity, chalo, let's cut prices. So let's give discounts. Ridiculous. Yeah. If you have reduced your quality by 20%, then you should reduce your price by 20%. But when your quality is 100%, your service is 100%, you are giving as good as anything else, then what is the big idea in fact, you need to increase your efforts in marketing. You need to reach out. You need to preach out. So for no rhyme or reason, giving price cuts and discounts is आत्मविश्वास गिर गया. Consumer का विश्वास नहीं गिरा है. So it is to do with internal disturbance, not external disturbance. So I have a feeling that you should not do that. As long as your quality, product, service is intact, your price should be intact.
Well said, well said. So, see, because people get so scared that these kind of thoughts start coming to their mind because they are just trying to struggle and figure out what is the right thing to do. And unfortunately, a lot of times businessmen, they don't have the right guidance. So they try and do whatever they feel is right. But I'm glad you're speaking to all of us today, and this recording is going to go to
Dipesh, I'll give you an example. Okay. We have a client and they've been with us since 16 years. The client's name is Hare Krishna Group from Surat. They are into diamonds. So we built the brands Krishna and Siva, and we've been able to build them up to a particular level altogether, right? Now, it's quite possible that there are times when these disturbances, no one is going to believe that during these times, people will buy sanitizers, people buy fruit and vegetables, people buy bread and biscuits and milk and everything else. But diamonds, in my opinion, you can. So sales are continuing. And because if you can't physically go and make a visit and a call to a retailer, you can make a phone call. You can use digital, right, but you can still be in touch. So maybe the method of doing the sales and managing the sales force, recruiting the sales force, and doing the sales management may be different. Doing the positioning, doing the communication could be different. But you can't stop doing that. You have to continue doing that. And therefore, it's very, very important to make sure that you don't stop. The method may change. The way we, in fact, have, since the day it started, and I'll tell you, not for any other reason of trying to show off or something. First 3 days, I must tell you, Dipesh, first 3 days after the lockdown, I was sitting and I'm not used to sitting. So my wife and co-director, right, she said, okay, now I think I'll teach you new things. So what? How to hang clothes, how to load the dishwasher. So all my life she said that, the only thing you know to do is brand building. And I agree with that. So 3 दिन वो try किया. उसके बाद I said, please let me go back to my brand building. And I started video conferences. You won't believe it. In this period of 60 days, I have 7 new clients. 8th one just got signed up yesterday, right? And as far as we are concerned, work is going, method changes. The way of doing things changes. And all my clients are doing very well, even during these times, and sales are taking place. But there must be a will. In fact, I just wrote an article that skill we can give to salespeople, will they need to bring. And you need to do everything with dil. And skill dil will make you grow and keep you away from being nil. It's important. So we have created a new module called Samsika Recovery Marketing Strategy Module. Then how you can recover your sales, your brand reputation, and everything related to that, right? And also the method of training has also changed. So you need, if the consumer has changed, the environment has changed, times have become difficult times, you need to change, you need to adapt. And therefore you need to be optimistic.
Interesting. So what I've noticed is your skill of branding is good, but your skill of rhyming is equally good. While we are on this topic, not of rhyming, of pricing, there are a few questions that people have asked. Ideally, I would wait till the end, but because they are relevant to what we are speaking, people are asking that what if competition reduces the price, especially in B2B sector? Somebody else said, we are not reducing our prices, but our competitors are reducing prices. Orders are going to our competitors. What do we do?
Don't mind my phrase, competition tel lagane gaya. Who the hell is bothered about competition? You have to focus on the consumer, not on the competitor. When you play cricket, focus on the ball, not on the bowler. Because if you take your bat and go and break the head and the bones of the bowler, will you get any runs? No. But when you connect with the ball, you will score. Similarly, competitor takes away your money. Consumer gives you the money. Why are you studying competition? Why don't you study the consumer? Why don't you study the emerging needs of the consumer? Why don't you satisfy the consumer? And just because someone else is making a mistake, it doesn't mean that you should be making the same mistake. So let them do what they want to do. God bless them. Let us do what is our strategy. So I don't think any kind of behavior, which is dekha-dekhi behavior, is good. In brand marketing, our God is the consumer. The consumer's needs, the consumer's expectations, the consumer's aspirations. It's very important. Someone told me, how can I bring the sales training people to you? Now there is a lockdown. People are not allowed to travel. There's a different method of training. It can happen through video conference. It can happen through digital. It can happen through, we have something called a pitch mark, where on your mobiles the training is given. We have something which is called track mark, where they track. So everything changes. And we have to be in a position to be able to understand that you need to adapt. But as far as competition is concerned, God bless them. I would rather focus on the consumer because he's the one who needs me. He's the one who makes me survive and run. He's the one whom I'm duty bound to make happy, not the competitor. I don't look at the competitor. If the competitor wants to look at me, that's his problem. I look at the consumer.
I agree. So, but then again, there is a follow-up question from the same people. So they're looking at B2B and they're saying that purchase guys have mandatory cost reduction. So then how do we handle? Because we are looking at selling to a company and that company is now, it's not one person selling to one person. So that is their question. What do we do with those purchase guys?
Yeah, we have,
but
yeah, sure. Right. We have 40% of our clients who are B2B clients and 60% who are B2C. So let me not give you an impression that we only do B2C to consumer.
Sure.
There's a difference between a consumer and a customer. So in B2B, there is a customer who does not consume directly himself or herself, but gets it done and takes the decision for the deal or the purchase. And the consumer is, so the customer is the one who buys, consumer is the one who consumes or uses, right? Now, in the case of B2B, the entire approach is different. Someone wants to buy a a cola or someone wants to buy a chocolate, it's one-to-one, right? There also the father buys the chocolate, is the customer. The son has it, that's the consumer. So conceptually, you have to be clear about it. In B2B, there are customers, right? Now, in these customers, there's not one single one. You're right, Dipesh. There are 6 people in the process. There is the gatekeeper who will give you the appointment. There's the influencer who says, yeah, we need this kind of stuff. There's the initiator who actually initiated, kya hamare ko ye chahiye. Then influencer influences the brand. Decision maker, of course, decides. Purchaser gives the PO and the user uses it. So there are many more in there in terms of roles. Some companies, big companies have 6 people doing those roles. Small companies, one guy does all the roles, but there are different roles. But in the case of B2B, it does not make sense to get and fall in the trap because the purchase manager wants to use these times, these difficult times, as an excuse to cut your prices. And you, because of low Atmavishwas or low self-esteem, fall in that trap. You go and ask the same purchase manager, if there are 20 companies working with him, there'll be 2 whom he's paying full price. And there'll be another, maybe 16, who is reduced by 20%. And there'll be another 2 idiots who will be maybe giving him free. So it has got nothing to do. He is making a try. So in all this, there could be a use and there could be an excuse. Go towards the uses, not towards the excuses. And these times are the best times to use excuses. Have I reduced my quality? Have I reduced my service? Have I reduced my quantity? Have you reduced your need? No. So when we are doing that, we should, supposing there's a pharmaceutical company which requires that their floor and their entire premises are absolutely sanitized because that's the way the pharma factory runs. So before normal times also it used to be there. And now in difficult times also it's there. Nothing has changed. So why should price change? So irrespective of whether it be B2B, it's to do with your own Vishwas and Atmavishwas. You're scared competition will take away the business. You're scared the purchase manager will throw you out. They are also not idiots. Purchase managers are very sensible people. They understand what is the difference between price and value. They go after value. They don't want a situation that something went wrong in sanitation because he got a 20% saving in price. That's something. So one has to look at it holistically. And whether it's B2B or B2C, you have to put the proper. That's why we say we have something called pitch. You have to pitch it correct. मैं बोलता हूँ पहले पेश करो, फिर पुश करो. पेश और पुश में ना खाली ई और यू का फर्क है. पेश में PESH है, पुश में PUSH है. But everyone wants to really push. Price काटो, ये करो, वो करो. अरे बाबा पहले अपना गुण पेश तो करो. You at least pitch, present all the qualities. Then you talk about the aspect which is related to price or push, etc. So in B2B also, there is no reason to panic. Yes, everyone will make an attempt. Okay, come on, the difficult times for the company could be fortunate times for the purchase manager. Okay, this is a good time to take an excuse and let's kitch out some lower price. But then that depends on the marketing and salesperson, how well he's trained as to how he presents. There is no reason to panic. There is no reason to reduce price if you have not reduced your quality of product.
So while we are following this strategy, do you think it's a wise idea to constantly study our competition and see not just for pricing, but for quality or what they are doing, what is their strategy? Do you think it's an important thing to keep an eye on the competition?
No. I would like to keep an eye on my consumer, on my customer. I would like to listen, observe to my consumer, to my customer. Customer in B2B, consumer in... I don't want... What am I going to get by getting competition? I'll give you a small story, okay? And if I may take a minute. एक गुरु था, ठीक है? और वो तलवार सिखाना समझाता था. He used to teach sword fighting, right? So there were many shishyas, and so one day his best student became so good that he challenged him. And he says, okay, Mr. Guru, now I'm going to challenge you and defeat you. So Guru was shocked. He says, boy, I have taught you everything and now you're challenging me. He's saying, yeah, now I've become better than you. Fine. They said, okay, 1 month ke baad, 6 o'clock in the morning, we will come in the field and both of us will have a sword fight, right? So both started preparing. Every evening, the Shishya would go and study competitions. He would go and peek into the window of his guru as to what the guru is doing. And he found the guru making a huge long sword. So he said, this fellow is very smart. He is going to make such a long sword that he is going to be in a position from far only defeat me. I will make a longer sword. So he goes back and he starts building a longer sword. Every evening he goes and studies competition, right? The day of reckoning comes. In the morning, both of them are standing and the guru is shocked. He says, my God, this guy's also got a long sword. And this fellow is absolutely comfortable, the Shishya, because he says, I know you're going to make a long sword. And then the fight begins. And when the fight begins, it gets over in 60 seconds. How? So this guy, the Shishya, is struggling to open his long sword from the sheath, from the mayan. The guru has taken out a short sword from a long mayan and on his neck. He says, Bacha, sab kuch nahi sikhate ho. Theek hai na? Don't study competition. Study the consumer, study the customer. That is worthwhile. They give you the money and you need to satisfy them. What are you going to do by studying competition? Write a paper, do a benchmark analysis. That doesn't make sense to me.
Interesting. So that perspective tells that people should not go and do MBA at all. People should just listen to you.
No, but who says MBA is wrong? I have done my MBA at General Bajaj. For last 33 years, I teach first year MBA students marketing management and second year student brand management. I teach them the same thing. Yeah. So it doesn't mean that MBA teaches you to study competition. MBA teaches you to serve the consumer and study the consumer. I'm not saying you close your eyes or don't read about it, whatever is there, but don't go out of your way to study. Yes, go out of your way to study consumer and their needs and customer and their needs. Yeah.
Cool. Great. What I'm going to do is it okay if we start taking some of those questions? Because a lot of questions people are asking.
Most welcome. I'm here to serve the customer and the consumer.
Awesome. So, any suggestions for diamond jewelry industry?
Lots of suggestions. Go full-fledged ahead. Someone told me, I give you the Hare Krishna example, right? We are selling. In April we sold, in May we sold. So someone told me that area doodh or ye khane pine ki cheez, essentials jo hai, wo sab. Essential is a subjective term. Essential to whom, right? So they said, no, during these periods of time, all jewelry outlets are closed. And if jewelry outlets are closed, I don't think anyone is going to buy jewelry. So I said, don't look at purchase, look at consumption. Tell me, one single day, any Indian woman, even though she's locked down at home, is not wearing jewelry. Correct, na?
Right.
Every day she's wearing jewelry, more or less, or whatever. She's regularly wearing jewelry, even if she's at home. All the Ekta Kapoor serial you see, they sleep with the jewelry also, right? Now, so the fact of the matter is that they are wearing jewelry. So if they can wear jewelry, they can buy jewelry. You can find a method of being able to. There is digital, there is phone call. Purane zamane mein, in olden days, Dipesh, whenever there was a function or some birthday or anniversary, if you remember, the sari guy and the diamond and gold jewelry guy would go home and show the women of the household various pairs, right? And then they would select and then would be done. So there are many methods of doing it. So diamond jewelry is also like a consumer product. And the consumer is wearing it every day. So why can't they buy it? Right. So my advice is treat it like any other consumer product. There is no stoppage. And the desire to nahi gaya. The aspiration to nahi gaya. आप कोई लेडी को पूछो ना, सर्वे कर लो आप जाके 1000 लेडीज को कि भाई अगर आपको चांस मिले डायमंड ज्वेलरी खरीदने का, अच्छा डिजाइन, अच्छा वीवीएस टाइप का वगैरह वगैरह, और आपको पेश किया जाए, most of them will say why not, yeah, but I can't go to the jeweler, but you can do things, right? So that's my advice, just like any other industry.
Great. So by the time I'm reading more questions, guys, if you have not written your name, number, and email ID in the chat box, kindly do so we can start giving you more and more updates of the forthcoming webinars.
Yeah, and my email ID is J for Japan, K for kangaroo @samsika.com, SAMSIKA.com.
Yes.
You know, I'll give you a change which is there. One of the closest I look at is all the women in my house, right? And my wife, my mother, my daughter, all of them. Now, what has happened is there's a shift which has taken place, right? The lipstick sales have gone down, and the mascara and eyeshadow sales have gone up. Because now, because of mask, no one is looking at the lips, everyone looking at the eyes. So there's a change in leads. So you have to be perceptive.
Of course. And they're also doing Zoom calls, right? They need to look pretty.
Absolutely. And with the prettiness comes diamond jewelry also.
Yeah, absolutely. So there are some very interesting comments, Jagdeep, for you. Manish Panchal says, proud to see my sir, Faculty of Marketing
Hi,
at
Manish.
BMS. You're truly Indian Kotler. So I already had
I'd rather be Jagdeep Kapoor.
Yeah.
Indian Jagdeep Kapoor.
He's copied my comment in the beginning, remember? So then Abhay also says, hats off to Jagdeep sir, my project guide in JBMS 1993.
Thank you, Abhay. Yes, Deepak.
Questions.
Hi, Manish.
Sachin Karnawat says, he's my mentor. Please give my regards.
Oh, hi, Sachin. How are you? Sachin is also a mentor of many people. He runs huge commerce classes. Hi,
I know,
Sachin.
I've heard Karnawat classes, right?
Yes. It's a legacy from his dad and to him.
Yes. So one question is, how do manufacturers and retailers fight Amazon when they offer massive deals and discounts?
A very interesting question, and I will explain to you that. You see, this entire world is being divided into two parts, which actually should not be divided, frankly. It's being divided into online and offline, right? But actually, that's not true if you study the consumer and the customer. And I'll come to the Amazon question. There are people who say there is a separate online business, there is a separate offline business. That's not true. It's the same consumer who can buy offline after browsing online, or can buy online after browsing offline, or can browse offline and buy offline, browse online and buy online. Leave it to the consumer. So in my opinion, there is no online and there is no offline. In my opinion, which is a registered thing, there is inline marketing, in line with the customer's expectation. And that's what it should be there. Some people call it omnichannel, some people call it etc. Now coming to Amazon and the deals, etc. Online was for convenience. Online was not for discounts. It has been degenerated into giving discounts. Online was anytime, anywhere, even in the middle of night, any place, you could go actually and order and you can receive the dispatch and delivered to your doorstep. That is the real reason for online is convenience. But it has been transformed into the real reason for online is discount, which is very, very sad. And sooner or later, people have started realizing it, and many of the good brands sell at full price, whether it be online or offline, because they have realized the product is the same, right? The other thing is, how do you compete? According to me, again, you have to be in a position to have a mix of offline and online. Let's like Lenskart.com, right? They started with online. Today, I think they have about 400 or 500 stores, which is called Lenskart.com, right? We have DMart, which started as offline and now also gives online. You look at Jio and you look at Reliance and you look at all the other offerings that are there. So I have a feeling that let the consumer decide where they want to browse and where they want to buy, right? And for that, if they go to a store and buy at full price, why should they not buy at full price online? Because they are getting added advantage of delivery. They're saving the transportation cost by going by car or bus or train and going to a store and pick up. So I don't understand this aspect of discount, deals, etc. It again shows insecurity. It shows lack of Atmavishwas. When I'm giving the same brand, I'm giving the same product, just because you have a larger margin, because you're cutting the retailer and the distributor in between, that means you go and throw it and you go and splurge it. Then what do you do? then you make the offline retailers angry about your brand. So when you go in and in a mobile store, a retailer, a boy, girl, or a man, woman goes in and says, your phone, this latest phone, what is the price? He says, this is the price. Then they say, "Arey, online mein to itne ka milta hai." Then the retailer gets angry. He says, what is this nonsense? Yeah? Right? Whom does he get angry on? He can't get angry on the consumer or the customer. He gets angry on the company, on the brand. And many of them stop selling it. So I have a feeling that while online will continue to grow, like in these times, offline will continue to grow. You have to focus not only online, not only offline, you have to focus on in line with the customer's expectations. And when you're doing it in line with the customer's expectation, I don't see any reason for a deal or a discount or a price. Because consumers are buying quality, value, they are buying the benefit. They are not buying the deal or the price. It is unfortunate that instead of practicing pure brand marketing, these kind of cheap gimmicks are being followed.
I agree with you. I agree with you. So, Jagdeep, what we will do is we have a lot more questions and we are running out of time. So, in the interest of time, we will send these questions to you and you can answer them and we will send it to the...
Sure. I just want to say 3 things in the end.
Please, you can.
First thing I want to say is that you must understand that in today's world, whether it's difficult times or normal times, brand banao, wahi brand banao. Log brand khareedte hai, product or service nahi khareedte. Second thing, which I had written many, many years ago and everyone follows, you need to be visible. My brand mantra for years has been, and registered in my name, jo dikhta hai, wo bikta hai. Third thing, build relationships with your customers. If I give a 3-hour lecture on relationship marketing, no one will understand. But my brand mantra is sambandh, nahi to sab bandh. And the last thing is be cost effective. Because at the end of the day, you have to grow your brand by increasing brand awareness growth, brand trials growth, brand repeats growth, brand sales growth, brand market share growth, and brand profit growth. And if you want to take care of top line and bottom line, which is pure brand marketing strategy, then do kam kharcha and get jada charcha. These are the last few things I'd like to share with you, Dipesh.
Amazing. And so what I like about all your mantras...
Some people are sending messages. Again, I'm repeating my contact. JK, J for Japan, K for Kangaroo. That is Jagdeep. JK@Samsika, SAMSIKA.com. And my telephone number is 829-11-00-591. 829-11-00-591. Yes, Dipesh. I thought thoda mera apna bhi promotion kar do.
हाँ बिल्कुल. I will request Girish to type his contacts in the chat box so everyone will be able to just copy paste. All right, Jagdeep, life easy ho gaya.
Dipesh, I must compliment you. You're a very cheerful and a free-flowing host, and I must compliment Vikash for this initiative. He interviewed me once personally. I had the great fortune of being interviewed by him on All India Radio, and is an old friend. And congratulations to your organization, Vikash, and congratulations to you, Dipesh, for being a wonderful host.
Thank you, Jagdeep.
And the entire team. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. And on that note, I would quickly invite first Priya to give some closing remarks, and then I'll have Vikash to speak.
And Dipesh, do send me the recording, please.
Yes, certainly.
Because a lot of guys who couldn't get in, so I'll send
Certainly.
I would like to give my hearty vote of thanks to Mr. Kapoor for gracing today's webinar. Thank you, sir, for very thought-provoking thoughts, for very thought-provoking and interesting address. I would like to also acknowledge Mr. Vittal Kamat's presence here. And last but not the least, I would like to thank all those who have participated overwhelmingly and making this event success. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Ji. Thank you.
Thanks.
And may I request Mr. Vittal Kamat to say a few words about today's session?
Friends, we had one of the finest session today.
Vittalji,
This session has rejuvenated each and every one. Whenever you need extra energy, in any subject, you should go to Mr. Jagdeep Kapoor. I had a family partition, and that time, this great man gave me a mantra. बाकी का मत कैसा है मुझे पता नहीं है, सच्चा है, अच्छा है. अच्छा है, that has made a difference. Without telling anything, the message was given. So thank you very much. And I would like to thank you all and IBG for this session. Thank you, Priya. Thank you, Vikash. Thank you, Dipesh.
Thank you, Ji. Thank you. And in fact, we would love to have you as a speaker of webinar soon. We will.
Thank you, Ji.
For sure.
Yes, you should get Vittal Ji.
We will. We will. Thank you. And Vikash, finally over to you for closing remarks.
Close करने का तो मन नहीं है. I am speaking in Hindi time to time nowadays because I am also part Bharati rather than Indian. I have been watching him and learning from him without his knowing it for several years. A lot of my marketing decisions in my company come out of what I've learned from him. Either he has spoken to me or to somebody else, but I've overheard it. So thank you for that. I'll give you a short story about him. As he just mentioned, I did a radio interview of his. I got 2 hours free from him. Coming to my office, talking to me, I taking him to the radio station, is coming back and sitting with me. Can you realize how much I learned out of him in those 2 hours? I mean, he was speaking to the audience, but I was watching and listening to him. I did a small thing this time, only with him in mind, which again he doesn't know. I hope he doesn't send me a bill for this. As soon as the lockdown happened, I've said, my product is a consumer. My product is a consumer product. We sell mobile games on the mobile phones. The advertising costs halved during this period. So I immediately jumped into a TV campaign for Nazara.com. And the audience was doubled because everybody was sitting at home. Within 2 months, our turnover jumped by 30%. Thank you, Jagdeep, for that. And thank you for being with us.
Wonderful.
So on that note,
thank you for having me, Vikash Ji, Dipesh.
My pleasure, and my audience pleasure.
It was an absolute
Vittal
pleasure.
Ji, lovely to have your presence also.